virus.
Correct.
All right. So what does that mean as far as trying to control the population now? Where does the county come in and try to make that decision on which one of those numbers is more detrimental?
Any positive we receive from the light traps, and we capture the mosquitoes, they're counted, sorted, and then sent up to Wadsworth Laboratory up in Albany, the State Health Department lab. When we get a positive on either a bird we've collected or a mosquito pool we've sent up, or, unfortunately we get human cases as well, then we contact DPW. The mosquito control unit will go out to that neighborhood, to that specific address, and they'll survey for several blocks around. What they're looking for are any breeding sites that may have been overlooked, storm drains, a pool that wasn't open for the year, creek beds, any areas, parking lots in the back of shopping centers where there's drainage issues. To try and make sure that they haven't overlooked breeding sites. One backyard swimming pool that wasn't opened can cause a large problem for those several homes around it. And since the mosquito that we're discussing, the house mosquito, typically doesn't fly more than about 200 feet from where it hatches out. That was the question I was going to ask you, how far do they travel? So our surveillance data is just to give us kind of a picture. But that doesn't, rule out that there may be, one block or one house that's having a problem, and that's why we always stress to people they need to call Public Works. Public Works responds to complaints from residents. They'll go out and they'll look over the fence, and if there's breeding going on there, they'll go and they'll treat that to prevent those larvae from hatching out.
Now, what would they do? Put in the larvicide? Was that what they would do?
They'll treat it with an appropriate larvicide.
All right. Let's talk to Dr. Singer. Thank you very much, Dr. Singer, for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. What is West Nile virus? It really hasn't been around that long, has it? Do I have Dr. Singer on the line? Because I know I'm not hearing her. So okay. Do we have Dr. Singer? All right, hold on. We're trying to get her. Okay. All right, we'll try to get her. We're going to try to reestablish communication with her. It's true, because West Nile virus has only been here in this country for not even 10 years yet. So it's like, how much do we know about it in the 10 years that it's been here, as far as where it came from, how we might possibly be able to eradicate it? What do we know about it?
Well, DPW's had a mosquito control program since, the 30s.
Yeah, so mosquitoes have long, brought disease with them, so that certainly is nothing new.
And actually, the Department of Public Works actually ramped up their mosquito control program before West Nile was even detected, just because of the large populations of salt marsh mosquitoes affecting the South Shore residents in some of the areas of the North Shore. So as far as experience controlling mosquitoes, there's an extensive amount of information available on that. And unfortunately, there are several diseases as well as West Nile, such as Eastern equine. We had lacrosse detection for the first time 2 years ago. So there are some odd little things that are starting to crop up. I think Suffolk County had a malaria case several years ago in a Boy Scout camp. So there's a broad knowledge base on mosquito control, and actually the mosquito that we're concerned about with West Nile is a pretty local, can be a very local problem, and that's why whenever we have the chance, we stress with people that you need to dump those buckets out. You need to prevent that, because the neighbor puts the kiddie pool under the shrubs and leaves it there. It's going to create a problem for those 3 homes, and that's all it can take
especially as you said, since the mosquitoes don't travel that far. So. All right, well, let's see if we can get Dr. Singer back on the line. Now, I know you heard us, but we didn't hear you. Dr. Singer, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Now I hear you. Thank you very much. As we've been discussing, West Nile's only been around here for about 10 years or so. What is it, and do we know enough about it at this point?
Well, it's a virus that was first reported in humans, actually, from the West Nile region of Uganda in the 1930s. And as you alluded to, really first reported in the U.S. in 1999, when it actually reports from this area, from
New York.
Queens.
Right.
I think we know a fair amount about it. We know what kind of disease it can produce. Unfortunately, there's no really good treatment for it. One thing I think people ought to understand is that the majority of cases really are asymptomatic. That is, more than 80% of people who are infected have no symptoms whatsoever, and of the ones that do, most have a flu-like illness. and it's only a very small percentage of people who develop the more severe neurologic symptoms.
I mean, the truth of the matter is more people in this country die from the flu every year than die from West Nile virus.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think what frightens us so much about this is, you know, we all have mosquitoes in our house, and we never know if the